Hey guys, welcome back to the Command Beacon. Today I have a multiplayer EDH game featuring Lazav the Multifarious versus Riku of the Two Reflections, Jarad, Golgari Lich Lord, and Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. Before we get started, let's break down today's commander. Lazav the Multifarious. For a blue and a black, you get a 1/3 legendary creature shapeshifter that says, when Lazav the Multifarious enters the battlefield, surveil 1. He has an activated ability that says, tap X. Lazav the Multifarious becomes a copy of target creature in your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except his name is Lazav the Multifarious, it's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has this ability. Alright, we lost a die roll. Let's take a look at our opening hand. So we have Urborg, Cabal Coffers, we have a Swamp Command Tower, so a lot of lands, and a Kalitas. Could keep this and hope that we draw into some gas. I don't know. I'm not going to keep this. I'm going to go ahead and toss this back. Alright, so we get the Urborg again. We got an island. Mana Vote, Chrome Mox. I was really hoping we get some sort of draw spells, or maybe the Ristic Study. But I think this is going to have to do. I really don't want to mulligan past this. Hopefully we can hit something with the Lazav Surveil trigger. So let's go ahead and keep. Jarad's going to kick things off with a Memorial to Unity and passes the turn over to Atris. Atris plays an island and follows up with a Ponder. They draw a card from the Ponder and they pass the turn over to us. We draw into a Dark Depths. Let's go ahead and play the island. Guess we can lay down the Mana Vault, but that's basically gonna paint a target on us. Let's hold off on that. We'll go ahead and pass the turn here. Riku plays a Frontier Bivouac and they pass the turn. Jarad plays a Swamp and they follow up with a Greenwood Sentinel. On Atris' turn, he plays an Exotic Orchard and follows up with a Mind Stone. They tap down and pass the turn over to us. We draw into a Morphic Pool. Let's go ahead and play that. Let's get Lazav down into play. We surveil 1. It's a Swamp. Toss this into the graveyard. And with that, we'll pass the turn. Riku plays a Mountain. And they pass the turn over to Jarad. Jarad plays a Buried Ruin. And they tap out to play a Farhaven Elf, tutoring a basic land and putting it onto the battlefield tapped. They move to combat and decide to attack the Riku player. They pass the turn over to Atris. Atris plays a Command Tower. They cast Atris. They target us for the ability. Alright, we have a Hostage Taker, a Jace, and a Preordain. Yeah, let's split the pile this way. Hopefully we can entice them to take the top stack. They do take the Jace and the Preordain. They pass the turn over to us. We draw into a Reflecting Pool. I think here we go ahead and play that. I don't want to play the Chrome Mox yet. There's really nothing else that we got going on. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go ahead and pass the turn. Riku plays an island, and they pass the turn. Jarad plays a Swamp, and they follow up with a Spore Swarm, creating 3 green 1/1 Saprolan creature tokens. They cycle away Tranquil Thicket. They move to combat and decide to swing in at the Riku player once again. And with that, they pass the turn over to the Atris player. Atris casts Preordain. They put both of the cards at the bottom and draw a card. They play a Swamp. They move to combat and decide to come after us. We're not going to block, and we take 3 commander damage. On their second main phase, they decide to play Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. And with that, they pass the turn over to us. We draw into an island, so we're definitely hitting our land drops, but not seeing anything else. I don't want to play the Dark Depths because I don't want to send the wrong message. Here, let's cast the Mana Vault. Let's play an island, and we'll go ahead and pass the turn again. Riku plays an island, and they decide to pass the turn. Jarad plays a Forest and follows up with a Grapple with the Past. They mill a Llanowar Visionary, Harrow, and Swamp. They choose to return the Tranquil Thicket back to their hand and cycle it away. They cast a Golgari Locket, and they move to combat. They swing the 3 Saprolan tokens at the Atris player, and the Sentinel back at the Riku player. At Jarad's end step, Atris played Brainstorm. During Atris' main phase, they cast Talisman of Dominance. They skip through combat and play a Factor Fiction in their second main phase. Riku decides to respond with a Reiterate, copying the instant for himself. The Atris player made some interesting piles for the Riku player, and the Riku player decided to take the pile with Reverberate, Kodama's Reach, and Twin Cast into their hand. The Atris player in turn picks Riku as the target for their Factor Fiction. The Riku player splits the piles, Ashiok with 1 island or 3 other lands. The Atris player picked the Ashiok pile. They activate Jace, drawing a card, then discarding a card. And with 9 cards in their graveyard, they flip Jace and activate its ability targeting the elf, give it -2, -0 until the end of their next turn. They play a Morphic Pool, and they pass the turn over to us. We have a Mana Vault trigger. We draw into Read the Runes, so I think that's actually going to be a pretty good one there. We'll play the Island. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We'll fire this off for 5, leaving mana open for the mana drain. Alright, and we get into a Bantu the Glorified, Sage of Hours, and Whispering Madness. Let's get rid of Urborg. We'll get rid of Bantu. Let's get rid of the Sage. We'll get rid of the Chromox. Do like the Dark Thespian stage. Let's get rid of Cyclonic Rift. We'll play the Mana Crypt. I think here we move to combat. We make Lazav a copy of Bantu. That'll give him Menace and Indestructible. We'll bring down the Jace. Hopefully the Jarad player can take it out. And it's because of this versatility that I really enjoy playing Lazav the Multifarious. Riku plays a Kadama's Reach. They reveal an island of forest and decide to play the island, holding just enough mana open for a twin cast. With 9 cards in hand, they move to cleanup. Riku discards a Duplicant and Howl of the Horde and pass the turn over to Jarad. Jarad plays a Foul Orchard and follows up with a Turn Timber Sour. They activate Memorial to Unity, triggering the Turn Timber Sour, allowing them to create a 0/1 green plant token. They look at the top 5 cards of their library and reveal Elvish Rejuvenator, and they place that into their hand. Jarad moves to combat looking to take out Jace Telepath Unbound. Atris decides to block one of the Saproling tokens. During Jarad's end step, the Atris player decides to cast Entomb. They target a Scholar of the Lost Trove, so it's possible that we're going to see a Reanimate here. Atris plays Sanctum of Eternity. They tap down to play a Noxious Gearhulk. They target the Turn Timber Sour with the Gearhulk's trigger. They move to combat and decide to swing at us again with Atris, taking us to 6 commander damage. So we have a Mana Vault and a Mana Crypt trigger here. We always pick tails on Mana Crypt, and we lost. We are not going to pay the 4 for the Mana Vault, so we'll take another one there. And we draw into Yahenni. I think here we play the Thespian stage nonchalantly. I don't want to use the Whispering Madness because that'll pitch the Dark Depths. We want to have enough mana for the mana drain. We can play Yahenni. If they try to swing in, we'll block. We'll have enough mana open for a mana drain if needed. And hopefully the Dark Depths can come down. Next turn, we are going to hold back on the attacks. Riku decides to make an appearance. So Riku is completely tapped out. We don't have to worry about any sort of copy spell. We do have enough mana open for a mana drain. I do believe our next turn is going to end up being Dark Depths, and depending if we use the mana drain, we'll Whispering Madness away. Alright, Jarad plays the Elvish Rejuvenator. They're going to look at the top 5 cards of their library and they're going to grab a land from among them and put it onto the battlefield. Let's see what they hit. They cast a Rot Farm Skeleton. Jarad moves to combat. They swing the Sentinel once again at Riku. Riku does not block, and Jarad passes the turn. Atris decides to move straight into combat, swinging both of their creatures at me. So we're sitting at 27 life, Riku's at 27 as well, Jarad's at 40, and Atris is currently at 40 as well. Atris decides to activate the Sanctum of Eternity to return Atris back to their hand, and they cast a Toxic Deluge for 3. We get a bunch of Yahenni triggers, but unfortunately he's not on the battlefield to see any of these. Atris moves to end, so we get our Mana Vault and Mana Crypt trigger. We lost once again, taking us down to 24. We'll lose 1 more life from the Mana Vault. We draw into an island. We'll copy the Sage. We'll move to combat. We will attack Atris. We'll turn him back into Bantu. Let's get the Dark Depths down. Now let's just hope that it makes it through another turn. So there we go. We got our flying 2020 indestructible creature. Hopefully nobody bounces him. Oof. Clever Impersonator's probably going to target the Merit Lodge token. Yeah, I really didn't take into consideration that we were going up against a copying commander. Riku passes over to Jarad. Jarad makes an appearance. So now we're in a tough position here because if we swing in at the Atris player, I'm almost positive the Noxious Gearhulk is going to come our way. That's going to leave us open for an attack from the Riku player. Jarad plays a Graveblade Marauder. Jarad passes the turn over to Atris. They move straight to combat, swinging the Noxious Gearhulk at us. And Atris decides to play Plague Crafter here, which is going to help get rid of the token there. So let's get rid of Lazav. Let's send Lazav back to the command zone. And Atris decides to cast her own Clever Impersonator, copying the Plague Crafter. Oof. And it looks like the Riku player had a Cyclonic Rift anyways, so if we did for some reason decide to swing at them with our token, they were probably just going to bounce it back. Kinda glad this turned out the way it did. Alright, so we won our first mana crypt trigger. We're currently sitting at 18 health. We draw to search for Iskanta. Let's play the island. Let's just get our commander out first. Let's see what we can surveil. So we got a Bojuka Bog. Yeah, let's keep that on top. I want to use that against the Atris player. Let's play Search for Iskanta, and we'll pass the turn. Riku casts a Phyrexian Metamorph, targeting the Mana Crypt. And with that, the Riku player decides to skip the turn. Jarad uses his second ability to return himself back to their owner's hand. They follow up with Hunting Wilds. Riku responds with a twin cast, making a copy for themselves. Both of the spells resolve, and each opponent gets 2 force. And with that, they move to end. Atris decides to rejoin the field. They target us with the ability. Oof. We got a Consecrated Sphinx, Bojuka Bog, and Sphinx of the Second Sun. We'll split it this way. Part of me thinks they're going to go for the Consecrated Sphinx just for the overall value. But just in case, we wanted to split up the Bojuka Bog because our deck needs our graveyard. The good thing is if they pick the Consecrated Sphinx pile, which they did, that's going to allow us to hit their graveyard with Bojuka Bog, and we'll also be able to mana drain the Sphinx. Our opponent cast a Rhystic Study. I guess we could have gone for the counter there. And it looks like they're going to be heading into combat here. This time they're sending the Playcrafter over at the Jarad player. They move to end. So we already know what this is going to be with the Search for Iskanta. It's going to be the Bojuka Bog. We're not going to put that into the graveyard. Let's go ahead and transform the Search for Iskanta. We won the Mana Crypt trigger again. And we're not going to pay for the Mana Vault. Let's see. Let's go. Bojuka Bog will hit the Atris player. So that takes care of the Atris player's graveyard. Alright, so I think here, let's go ahead and hit the Whispering Madness. That's going to get rid of that Consecrated Sphinx from their hand. So our opponent's going to counter spell here. I think we're going to counter their counter, which is fine with us because we're going to get rid of it anyways. Might as well make some use of it. We are going to Cypher. We'll put that on Lazav. We will move to combat. We'll swing at Atris. Let's activate Lazav. We'll make him a copy of Bantu again. That's going to take them to 8 commander damage from us. Plus we'll go ahead and wheel one more time. We won't pay for the Rhystic Study. Let them draw a card. That just means it's 1 extra card in our hand after this wheel. Alright, so we got 2 colorless. Nothing we can do. We did draw into a Fierce Guardianship, so we do have a way to protect him. What else do we have in here? We have Invisible Stalker that we can get in there. Unblockable, hexproof. Another indestructible creature. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good place right now. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pass the turn here. Riku loses the coin flip. They cast Dig Through Time. They cycle away a Baron Moor. They pay the 1 for the Rhystic Study. Riku casts Lightning Greaves. They pay the 1 for the study. And with that, they pass the turn over to Jarad. Jarad plays a forest. They cast a Lalith Giant, paying the 1 for the study. Alright, so the giant ETBs, let's see who they pick here. They target us. So it looks like we're going to be taking 11 here. That's going to take us down to 5. They move to end. We are completely open right now for an attack from the Atris player, and I think that's going to end up being lethal for us if they decide to come after us. Yeah, so we're looking at 6 potential damage, unless they feel that maybe the Mana Crypt trigger will take us out. They might only attack with 1. Guess we'll just have to see here. Atris is going to bring out Gonti, Lord of Luxury. They target Riku with the ability. They follow up with a Solemn Simulacrum. They grab a basic. Atris moves straight to combat, swinging at us with the Playcrafter and their commander. And that's going to do it for us. So we definitely had some pretty nice plays here, but it wasn't enough to close the game out. Atris then plays a Archaeomancer, targeting the Grim Tutor with the ETB. They pass the turn over to Riku. Riku wins the flip. Riku casts Green Sun Zenith for 6. They exile Geist Blast, targeting the Green Sun Zenith to copy it. They grab a Green Warden of Muramasa and a Wood Elf. They equip the Lightning Greaves on the Green Warden. and with that they pass the turn. Jarad rejoins the field. They don't pay the 1 for the Rhystic Study. They cast Yavimaya Elder. They don't pay the 1 for the Rhystic Study again. And with that they pass the turn over to Atris. Atris takes the 1 from the mana vote. So Atris reveals what he stole from the Riku player with Gonti. Turned out to be a Rite of Replication, which he uses targeting Gonti. So he targets the Riku player 3 times and twice for the Jarad player with Gonti's ability. He plays a Fell Warstone and follows up with an Avatar of Woe. And with that he passes the turn over to the Riku player. Riku loses the flip with the Mana Crypt. They cast Progenitor Mimic, paying the 1 for the Rhystic Study. The Mimic enters as a copy of Gonti, targeting the Atris player. They move the Lightning Greaves over to the Progenitor Mimic, and they pass the turn over to Jarad. Jarad plays a Moldavine Cloak, targeting the Lazav Giant. They activate Jarad, sacrificing the Lazav Giant to deal 9 damage to each opponent. Jarad follows up with a Satyr Wayfinder. They choose not to pay the 1 for the Rhystic Study. They pass the turn over to Atris. Atris takes the 1 from the Mana Vault. They play an Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. They cast Mana Reflections. Riku responds with a counterspell, not paying the 1 for the Rhystic Study. Atris flashes in Venser Shaper Savant, targeting the counterspell with its ETB. Riku responds once again with a Fork, copying counterspell, and paying the 1 for the Rhystic Study this time. The second counterspell resolves, and Venser bounces the original counterspell back to Riku's hand. Atris casts a Mindwrack Demon, milling 4 cards into their graveyard. They activate Avatar of Woe's ability targeting Jarad, and they move to combat, swinging 4 creatures at the Jarad player. Jarad blocks the Archaeomancer with a Yavimaya Elder, and the Playcrafter with a Satyr Wayfinder. Jarad takes 3 commander damage, and gets a Yavimaya Elder trigger on death, grabbing a Forest and a Swamp. Atris passes over to Riku. Riku has a Progenitor Mimic trigger and a Mana Crypt trigger. They win the flip, and create a token copy of Gonti targeting the Atris player. Riku plays a Forest. They cast Eternal Witness, paying the 1 for the Study trigger. They target Mana Reflection with the ETB. They cast the Mana Reflections. They pay the 1 for the Rhystic Study trigger. And with that they move to end. Jarad makes a return back to their own hand during Riku's end step. Jarad plays a Swamp. They activate Reassembling Skeleton's ability, bring him back onto the battlefield tapped. They follow up with bringing Jarad back out to the battlefield, not paying the 1 for the Study. And with that, Jarad moves right to end step. Atris has a Mindwrack Demon and Mana Vault trigger here. They don't lose any life from the demon. They cast a Vampiric Tutor on their upkeep. They take 1 from the Mana Vault. They play Cabal Coffers, activating the coffers to generate 12 black mana in order to cast an Agent of Treachery. The agent targets the Mana Reflection from the Riku player. Atris then plays Avenger of Zendikar, one of the cards that he grabbed with Gonti, creating 12 plant tokens. Atris then casts Essence Flux, targeting Agent of Treachery. Once he re-enters the battlefield, he targets Jarad. He uses Jarad's ability twice to eliminate the Riku player and bring in the Jarad player down to 21 life. He casts Victimize, targeting Consecrated Sphinx and Agent of Treachery, sacrificing a plant token. He activates Jarad for a 4th time this turn, bringing the Jarad player down to 15 health, then moves straight to combat, swinging out with 6 creatures for lethal damage. Alright, let's head over to this game's breakdown. What a match! Tons of interaction here. Although we couldn't get any traction to close the game, it was nice to cheat out the Mirage token. It doesn't happen often if I don't tutor for it. And as scary as it was, the clever impersonator coming in as a copy of the 2020 Indestructible token was a neat accidental play. Sadly, neither the Riku player or myself were able to get much use of the token due to the double Playcrafter triggers. The Lazav Giant was an absolute rockstar, taking advantage of the wheels from the Whispering Madness and taking us down to lethal range for the Atris player. I really enjoyed the counterspell wars that happened in this game, but if I had to pick my favorite play of the game, I would have to say it was when the Atris player used Agent of Treachery to hijack Jarad, and used his ability to eliminate the Riku player and set up for the win. Overall, I had a lot of fun playing and chatting it up with these guys, and in case these players are watching now, I want to extend my thanks for a great match. Well, that's going to wrap things up here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It's the easiest way to let me know that you're enjoying this sort of content. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
I don't wanna see you ready for the party. Even though you told me take it back your heart, I don't wanna see you ready for the party. I don't wanna see you ready for the party.